Last semester, I was sleeping 4 to 5 hours a night, missing deadlines, and I was scared to open my GPA page every single time. And the most painful part, I actually had a plan. I spent hours planning my weeks with all the tasks I had to do. Then I got so overwhelmed that I stopped looking at the calendar completely and tried to keep everything in my head. Even looking at my calendar made me stressed. I'm a Vietnamese student in Canada, and my mom is paying tens of thousands of dollars for me to be here, and I'm terrified of failing. Today, I will show you exactly how I rebuilt my week into a learning operating system so I don't burn out or blow my visa. I failed so many classes, and my mom had to pay thousands of dollars just so I could retake them. And I failed so many times that I got a warning that said if I failed one more class, then I would be suspended from studying for a year. And at this point, my visa is running out. I have a little over 12 months left before I needed to go back to Vietnam. My biggest struggle in class is I could hardly keep up with one lesson. It feels like I'm listening to a complicated lecture full of jargon, and there's no way I could understand anything unless I have a dictionary open next to me at all times to look up every second word my professor said. On top of that, there were always assignments, group projects, exams, and all of those things as if it wasn't already stressful enough. And here is how my old calendar looked. As you can see, this is October 2024. Here I didn't plan much for school. I planned some morning routine stuff, cold wash, priming, breathing exercise, write some journal, then prep for school, all classes. And as you can see, this is basically what I did. This is the same thing as the one I just showed. And even up until the early of this semester, this is how it looked. Here, this is the beginning of this semester, August 2025. All the green stuff is the one I managed to do, and the red ones are the one I couldn't complete. I would always go strong at the beginning of the week for 3 days, but then later into the week, I didn't complete much. See? And if you look closer into what I planned out, here, I also didn't plan much. School prep 3 classes, and then this is under my name, and then school prep 4 classes, and this is my twin brother name. Here are the 3 big mistakes that made everything worse in my old calendar. First, I either didn't time block at all, or I just overplanned with random tasks. So as you have seen, I planned out my morning routine details, but for my schoolwork, I just toss in one block and say, just do all the schoolwork. I overplanned the random task and I underplanned the important task. I didn't time block at all for the school. The second biggest mistake was I never planned backwards from exams or any school projects, so every single one of them felt like a surprise. And finally, the third one, I left 0 buffer time, so one delay would destroy my day and I would give up. Now I'll show you the weekly system I use now. I adapted it from Tony Robbins RPM, but I will explain it in a way so you can copy and use today as an international student. Instead of planning a giant to-do list, I changed 3 things. Before I touch the calendar, I ask what are the 2 to 3 most important outcomes I want to get this week. I write those outcomes out on the top of my week. Then every action I add to the week has to connect to one of those outcomes. Here's the example. So this is a result I wanted to get from my school. This week I have final exam, and the result I want to get is to get at least B letter grade for my Japanese oral and written test. And the reason why I want to get this result is so it doesn't hinder my business progress and tank my school GPA. And then I added all the action steps I needed to take throughout the week. And this is another result I wanted to get for the week. This is for my part-time job. The result I want to get is show up on time and not slack or have bad attitude at work. The reason I want to get this result is so that it keeps the business alive while it hasn't made any money. And here is a third result I wanted to get for the week. Swiftly handle life's surprises before life handle me. The purpose for this result is to keep me up to date with life surprises I'm excited about before they become serious problems. Next, I schedule the task into the days of the week, and this is how it looks. As you can see, all the tasks go into specific time slots. And you remember earlier that I said I write down all the results and reason why I want to get that result for the week? Here, you can see them on the left side, all the tasks I needed to do. In those deep work blocks, I block all the distracting websites, no music at all, put my phone in another room, and I plan them at times when I'm actually feel awake and energized instead of being dead tired. Before, I treated sleep, meals, and rest like extra, but now I include them in my calendar. And I don't overplan my days, so if there's anything go wrong, I could reschedule my plan instead of giving up on the whole day. Let me show you how it looks like. This is the Monday of the same week. I wake up here at 4 a.m. I have about a 2 hours window in between tasks here and another 3 hours or so between this task. 1 hour here, 3 hours in the middle right here. On Tuesday, I have 4 hours window, completely free. On Wednesday, the whole day is pretty clear. And yeah, that's how it looks. After running this learning system this week, here's what changed. I stopped feeling like I was constantly wasting time, my mom's money, and my study permit. I got on top of my study plans instead of staying up until 2 a.m. And I had enough mental space to think about my future plan, like what I can do after I graduate instead of drowning in deadlines. If you are a Vietnamese or Asian international student in the US or Canada, and you want me to rebuild your learning operating system with you over the next 8 weeks so you can stay on top of exams without burning out, I'm taking 5 students from my first cohort. There's a link in the description to book a free 20-minute learning operating system audit. We will look at your real week, and if I can help, I will show you how the program works. If not, you will still walk away with a clearer plan.